Welcome to the Crazy Town Podcast. I'm Jonas.
And I'm TNT Dynamite, the explosive one, and we have our very special guest. Last day for you, my man, but we're glad that you were here when you can.
Last day. You know, I do appreciate you guys finally gave me a blanket to sleep out here. I figured I'd earn that much, but I guess it took 4 more days.
We'll decide what's earned, thank you.
I understand.
You don't have to share it tonight, though. I'm going to let you know. All right.
So,
I get cold at night.
Mr. X, you got something for us on your last day.
Let's crack into another one, yo.
I do. TNT.
Yo.
Jonas.
Yo.
Did you know Americans are drinking less?
I mean, I'm drinking less.
Are you?
Yeah.
Why are you drinking less?
Because he's old.
Because you usually drink more when you get
His
old.
prostate can't handle it anymore.
I personally have never been a big drinker.
Okay.
So I just find that like it's fewer and farther between. Like I know lots of people, especially in Austin, people love to just go drink all the time for no reason. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I can hang out and have fun when I'm not drunk.
Jonas is not capping either. I remember when we were younger, Jonas would buy kegs for like parties and stuff, and this motherfucker would never even drink. We'd have like Bud and Bud Light. He would buy kegs and he wouldn't even drink from the kegs that he bought.
Nope. Yeah.
I remember this.
I've went through phases where I drank a good amount, but
he's a facilitator, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess like I think what it is like there are some people in my family who I shall not name who drink a lot. And I've seen how like it handles them. Like I had like a cousin die from drunk driving when he was young.
See, if you have alcoholism in your family, man, it is a good idea to not because it's genetic to a certain extent.
Yeah, but I think it's more like it isn't the reason, but I think that doesn't hurt me not drinking a lot. You know what I mean? So, anyways, that's my story.
Fair enough.
Well, I saw the other day that apparently the makers of Jack Daniels are saying that Americans are drinking less whiskey at least.
Oh, that's a good one though.
Yeah, but they said the reason that people are not drinking as much whiskey now is for they blamed it on 3 things.
Oh, here we go.
3 things.
It ain't the recipe. We know
First,
that much,
ain't the
right?
recipe. It's 1, cannabis use.
Okay, so people are getting high more.
People are
okay.
just going for weed instead of alcohol.
I wouldn't know a thing about that.
No one would.
I've heard that people that do that like that better because they can like get in the car and drive and stuff, even though they shouldn't be smoking weed and driving.
Seems like a terrible idea.
I mean, really.
Number 2, weight loss drugs. People are using so much weight loss drugs of the Ozempic now.
Ozempic is keeping people from drinking is wild. Also making people blind after.
There's a correlation to that because Ozempic does kind of like it inhibits your impulses and
desires to consume all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
I could see that there's a little bit of correlation there. It's insane that they put that in this article, but I could see it.
Yep. And then the third is a lackluster demand from Gen Z.
They're saying Gen Z just don't want to drink.
Gen Z doesn't want to drink.
What are they doing instead?
I don't know.
Mushrooms?
I guess I think they're just getting their dopamine off of TikTok. Yeah, they're TikToking. I guess I don't know.
That's not even freaking wrong.
I don't think. I think that's exactly what they're doing.
So, like, there has been a lot of studies about this, where they talk about how Gen Z doesn't want to see sex scenes in movies anymore, and obviously the birth rate in America is way down. But also, like, the amount of teenagers getting pregnant is way down. So what?
Like under 16 and under like high school births. I've heard of like plummeted from like back in the day.
But if you think about it, I don't know how often you guys are around high schoolers, but I've got nieces and kids and stuff.
Brother, I am not around high schoolers at all. I want to make
that
very clear.
That was a test. That was a test. I wanted to see who I was here with. But no, they don't see each other anymore. They communicate electronically now, so they can't get each other pregnant. They're never in the same room.
And there's that loneliness epidemic they speak of.
There's the loneliness.
I feel like that's more towards like older people. Like loneliness, like you don't really have that in high school because you got to go to high school every day. How can you be lonely when you're around like another?
Well, I think it's not so much a loneliness epidemic as it's an intimacy epidemic, is what it is.
It's socially you can still be lonely because you're forced to go to school and sit in class, but you go home. What do you do then? And most people they get on on some electronic device and do whatever it is that they do. They don't.
Most of your
we used to
interaction
go
is on social media is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like we used to go do stuff. We're like, oh, we got to go see somebody. Well, let's meet up over here and go do something. They don't do that anymore. They're like, oh, let's just meet up online.
Yeah.
Well, it was funny because when I was married and had some stepkids, like they very rarely wanted their friends to come over because they just sat in the room and played with them on Xbox online.
Yeah.
And they could
yeah.
all play their game in
Yep.
their own house and
Yeah.
still get along and chat and like whatever. Like they're like,
it's very convenient.
Can't get anybody pregnant when you're online.
That's so true. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense too.
So, yeah.
Also, I want to say is that Jack Daniels is piss water. It's fucking gross.
Why
man.
are we-
So
why-
like, who's
why-
drinking that shit? Like for real.
Jack Daniels isn't. They're not having anything except for people realizing that they shouldn't buy their whiskey.
Yeah, who the
Yeah.
hell is drinking Jack Daniels in 2025?
Well, okay, so that's
over 30.
all right. That brings up a good point that I can speak to a little bit. So in my real world life, I work, in finance, and we have a lot of investments and interests in food and beverage companies.
Oh, okay.
And so a lot of these beverage companies we're seeing, like wine, like the high end wines, like all of those sales are plummeting. Like the good stuff is plummeting. Like
Awesome.
like wine is getting like I'll one in particular that I like and watch it. It was $100 a bottle a year ago, and now it's $60 a bottle.
Oh damn.
Which is a massive. That's not a small decline.
That's a
you know.
huge margin dump for them.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
yeah,
But
yeah.
they're trying to. They got to get rid of it because they got all these cases of wine they got to sell, and nobody's buying it. So it's not just
people
crappy,
are like, I'll buy the $8 bottle.
crappy
it's fine.
fire water over here. It's everything. I think beer is taking a dive. I think spirits are taking a dive. Wine is definitely taking a dive.
I'm a big fan of Gen Z, to be honest. Even though like most of them are illiterate because of COVID or whatever, I still think that like what I am. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Gen
Most
Z,
of
man.
them are illiterate. I
Yeah,
love
like
that.
most of them.
Haven't
are.
heard that yet.
And they're like addicted to like the TikTok dopamine, and they all want to be
they are
content
that.
creator. Like they have their issues, but like I feel like some of like the Mormonism that they've adopted into their life unintentionally.
Mormon.
It's amazing, man. It's
Are
amazing.
they wearing temple underwear and stuff? What you talking about? Like, which sides of Mormonism are you talking about?
They're only allowed to soak and
Kids, you can still get people pregnant by soaking, just so you know.
only if somebody's jumping the hump, bro.
Yeah, somebody rock the bed for you.
Soaking. Oh my god.
Wow.
I do. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Gen Z, man. I think that they got a good head on their shoulders. If they could learn to
They-
read English language, I think they would excel.
Well, because they don't write in the English language, they write in like short form, like shorthand almost, like right, 'cause they're big texters. And
no,
whatnot.
they're all using AI. If you talk to,
Oh
like,
yeah, if it's written, it's probably AI written.
yeah, if you talk to teachers nowadays, man, they say it's like they spend a lot of their time trying to just like discern whether something is AI or not. They're constantly like, I hear they have to ask like open-ended questions like, oh, that's an interesting way that you put that sentence. Why'd you compose it like that? And the kids can't even read it back. They don't understand what they even read because they use generative AI to come
what
up with
is
it.
Gen Z exactly? How old is that? I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, we're sitting here talking about Gen Z, but I'm not sure.
I don't know. It's the next generation. What's
Is
your take on
is it people in their 20s? I think. I think the millennials are in their 30s.
I think like the
30s
young
and
40s,
They're
30s.
between. It's 97 to 2012 is when they were born.
Oh, okay.
13 to 28.
Okay.
Yeah, what's your take though? You hate them?
No, I don't hate.
Do you hate them?
I don't know many Gen Zers, honestly.
Good. That was a test.
Because they don't cross my radar. I mean, I have my oldest child. It would technically be in that would be at the tail end of that.
Yeah.
But
A young Gen Zer.
I think honestly that child probably would be in whatever the next generation is, because it's like that group of kids.
Yeah, if
I
you were
think-
born in 2012, you were a baby. Like you're not really a Gen Z.
Well, it's like me, because I was born right between Gen X and millennial, right? So I'm in that little like I technically am Gen X, but I was at the very tail end
Gen
of it.
Alpha is
Gen
the one
Alpha.
after
Alpha, yeah. So I'd say my kids are Gen Alphas, even though they might be technically in that deal.
Which is
Gen
so
Z.
cool, man. They started it over, man. They had millennials, which was a Gen Y. I guess.
I guess it all started with X, right? So because then they tried to go Gen Y, and then they called them millennials instead.
Yeah.
And
Gen
then-
Y sounds lame anyway. I like millennials better.
Yeah. So yeah, we got to
Yeah,
start
it's
over.
wild, man. It's
I can't wait for the beta gen.
beta.
I'm gonna
Gen
crack
betas.
so hard on betting on gen betas.
funny. So, but anywho, that's all the time we got for today's episode. This is all the time we got for the week for Mr. X. So,
It's good being here.
Thanks
Good
for
being here.
being here, bud.
Thanks for having me. Always good to
hey,
hear.
buddy, thanks for showing up and staying on the couch.
Thanks for letting me drink some of your Jack Daniels.
Hey, you know, we always keep it stocked in the house.
Yeah, you
Always.
can take that shit home with you.
TNT brushes its teeth with it.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. So, all right, we out. For Jonas,
TNT and
Mr. X
out of mouth.
out.